Hey everybody, welcome to Landscape Rescue. My name's Stuart Moore and I am your hobo of horticulture. And right here we have a volunteer, well, this is a boxwood. This was most likely intentional. They don't typically volunteer. This, however, is the volunteer. And one of the things that I can't live without in the garden, and especially doing renovations and things like that, is my Sawzall. All right, so the Sawzall, probably one of my favorite things to have on hand when it comes to renovations. It makes everything so much easier. They're kind of light, right? So anybody can use this. I think the key is get this blade deep into the ground and then try to pin whatever you're cutting right up against this back here. I think articulating saw maybe is what they're called. So anyway, I wore my hobo shirt, one of my favorite shirts, and I've had it for 12, 15 years, and I melted the sleeve carrying a battery on my shoulder. Stupid, but it was a thing that happened. So I'm gonna cut this out. There's some maiden grass hiding in here. I'm not really that worried about it. Maiden grass, not really what we would call high value, right? Because I can get maiden grass to replace this if I jack it up too bad. But most likely what's going to end up happening is, ideally, if I can find time to do it, I'm just going to put a bed around this little area here. I'm just going to put some plastic edging around it and dig a trench and just make it happen. It's also very good for trenching. I like that. Call before you dig. Call before you dig. Before you start. Now, I've talked to the homeowner. We're good. The only thing in here is a sewer line that runs through this way. Definitely don't want to cut into that. It's a line that goes from the house to the sewer. There shouldn't be anything over here, he said. This is the first thing I wanted to do, and I wanted to get it. This property is an absolute disaster. This gentleman's had health problems. He's fought 2 different types of cancer. He's a veteran. I want to help him out. Unfortunately, I'm having my issue with the heat right now, so I'm doing this later on in the day on the busiest street in the world. So I hope you like listening to my dumb voice and cars. All right, let's get to it. I'm gonna tackle this bad boy right here. I should be worried about ticks. But this isn't a barberry, so I'm good. And this is so much safer than using a chainsaw when you're working in such close proximity to that, you know, the kickback zone. See, so much easier. So if you are one of those people that's apprehensive about using a chainsaw because you've never used a chainsaw before, anybody can use this. That's all it does. You hit the trigger. This cost me $100. I already had a bunch of batteries. I'm a Makita guy, so I was good to go. And here's the thing about these blades. I got 2 blades for $16, and they're Milwaukee blades, so good blades, I guess. I don't know. Not a connoisseur. I actually am kind of a consumer of Sawzall blades. All right, so I need to zoom down a little bit more. Probably you guys would appreciate an actual view of the project, I'm assuming. Okay. So really you're just trying to clean this up a little bit so you can get in there and get to the stump. Follow my own advice. There we go. There we go. Oh, this thing is all over the place. like I said, I'm not worried about this maiden grass. I'm hitting something in a big old piece of field stone. Slow me down right here. Look at that, how fast that goes. If you can bump it right up against this, that's where it wants to work. That's where he wants to work, so let's let him work there. Oh, see, I got into a rock. It's okay, I don't think I've ever used a saw blade. That's the nicest saw blade I've ever had. Every other one of them has been bent. They're all bent. I hit this bird bath maybe? I don't know. This is kind of a mess in here. All right, there. Well, there's maybe a rock in here or something. I found a bird bath. Okay. Let's see what that view looks like. So a lot of times you get into these projects and you realize that it's been cut back several times, right? This isn't the first time this plant's been cut back. And cutting it back doesn't really do anything. I mean, we cut back plants all the time, and we call it a regenerative prune when we do it. All right, let's see. We have very rocky soil here, so I see what's going on. There's a brick in here. Ooh, this old girl, she thick. Girl thick. Nope. I can't even see. All right. Okay, so this mulberry, okay, I see why I'm having so many problems now. I don't know if you can see this, but there. Let's just stop screwing around and acting like an amateur. Let's just put on our garden gloves. This has grown up amongst a piece of like those tiles that people use for garden paths, or a brick of some sort. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this thing out without just... Yeah, but there's a brick down here too. Remember I said, oh, there's a brick. If I can get a corner of it, I might be able to get it out. I didn't bring a shovel over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 20 minutes digging it out with a stick instead of walking the 30 seconds over to my garage and getting a shovel. Huh. Yeah. There we go. That works too. Welcome to Landscape Rescue. Essentially one of my career goals after I left the Army was just to bang rocks into other rocks to make small rocks. Yeah, I wasn't getting this out with the shovel. So it's all wedged up against this tree right here, which might be a blessing in disguise. Wedged right up against the trunk. So we're just gonna hold the Sawzall right there. Not doing that with a chainsaw, not that easily at least. Not without jacking up your... Okay, so we did that. So it is wedged right in between these two bricks, and as it grew, it must have spread these bricks out. And I'm assuming this was maybe a cute little garden path or something, you know, of that effect before people started getting sick, because there's a bird bath right there and two little guys kissing. All right, so I'm not going to put this over the, that was a joke, I'm not really going to do that. So I'm going to get in here and I'm going to cut through this, and then I'm going to put some undiluted Quick Pro by Roundup on it. All right. Side. Let's see if that's going to do anything. Let me go get some water, and I'm just gonna wet that down just a little bit. I could have pre-diluted this. It's just a pain in the butt to carry around. That does anything for us. I've done this before. It works. Let's do it again on another plant, and let's see. That way we got two. Maybe we could do two stumps like this, and then cut one down, and then not put the Roundup on it. We'll see. We can see what that does. Alrighty, get out of here, buddy. All right. Okay, let's find another one to do. All right, I didn't have to go far. The Lord giveth, and the Lord just kept on giving, didn't he? We got some more mulberry, most likely from that one over there. What I did find is that there is these cute little garden paths. All the way around. So this was an intentional bed. Some Bermuda in here. And there's some Bermuda mixed in with some maiden grass. The Bermuda game is strong. I'm just going to say, in here, the Bermuda game is strong. So, I don't know if we want to try some fusilade in there or not. Or just weed eat them all down to the ground and then just hope the maiden grass comes back. I'm getting eaten up by mosquitoes. All right. All right, let's tackle this thing again. Or it could be the razor sharp goodness that is maiden grass. That could be something. Could be part of it. There's a lot of volunteer maiden grassing. Needs to be cleaned up. This might be another day project. But I wanted to show you guys the Sawzall thing. And the only reason it inspires me to do that is because I had a buddy of mine, he helped me, or I was helping him on a project. He didn't have a Sawzall with him. So I literally went to the store, went to Team Tools in Springfield, good folks up there. If anybody's in the area, Team Tools is where I like to buy my tools at. And they had these Makitas on sale, no battery. Fresh in the box for $100. Well, I had 5 batteries in the trunk of the car, so I didn't need a battery. Worked out perfect. So I just bought one, and I came back and I started pulling these azaleas out, and I said, man, this is the best way to do renovation. He goes, man, I wish I would have known that 15 years ago. So even landscapers don't know about the Sawzall trick. I mean, it is the best way. And here's the thing, if it doesn't work for you, if you're a landscaper and you're listening to this, that doesn't work for you, you're out $100. 130, 140 if you get the battery and the charger combo. But I mean, you don't have anything to lose, and if it makes your life 15 minutes easier as a professional, that's good. It's worth the money. It'll pay for itself pretty quick, 15 minutes at a time. All right, oh geez Louise. This is nasty. Oh, that's nasty. Uh-oh. Douchebag patrol. All right. All right, you see this? There's a big old giant stump in here. Or a big old giant root. Oh, there we got her. We got her. Oh my goodness. Well, it's usually never that easy. I'm gonna get everything the honky tonk needs. Nice. Oh, look at that. We got that whole thing out. Praise be to the Sawzall, the articulating saw. Uh-oh. The fancy large bird bath is going down. Oh. Well, we left a little bit. Look at that. Look at that. All right, the bird bath filled with slime and sludge. All right, a real YouTuber would have probably done a walk around and showed a before and then showed an after. Not gotten right to the point. Maybe added some drama to the title. I didn't do any of that. The thumbnail is most likely going to be me holding this and saying the greatest garden tool that I have in my arsenal is this guy right here. And then you don't even have to click on the video, you just look at the thumbnail and go, oh yeah, a Sawzall, that'd be awesome. So maybe one of these days we can get to the point where we're actually doing a good job at this. We got a big pile of crap. I need to take that over to this guy's trailer. He said I can put it in his trailer and then he'll haul it off. Because he can drive. He's a good guy. We sat over here and talked about, we're both military guys. He's obviously a retired veteran. And we sit down and he's good. He's just, you know, his legs go to sleep. It's really hard for him to get back up. So he was sitting on his stoop and we were shooting a bull and then just talking about all sorts of stuff. It's like you get veterans together. We talk about the Army for a little while, but it's mostly just funny stuff. And then we go and talk about grapes and we talk about different trees he's got on the property and just what he wants to keep. And we just had a good time. Anyway, an hour later, I tell him, thank you very much for your time. I'll see you again. Don't worry about it. If I'm out in the front yard, you don't have to come out here. Keep doing what you're doing. I walk away, came back out to have a cigar, drink a Mountain Dew, you know, get centered, and before bed. And he's still sitting on the stoop because his legs went to sleep. And I saw him try to get up a couple times. He couldn't get up. And so I felt like a complete ass because I just walked away. I didn't even check. Anyway, I came back over and asked him if he needed a hand, and you know, we did the man grip, you know, the man grip. See, you're never too old for that. You're never too old for the man grip. Boom. And he grabbed my shoulder and hoisted him up, and we're basically brothers, according to the Bible now. So, all right, everybody, that was the Sawzall trick, or the articulating saw trick, when it comes to removing stumps and volunteers. This is the best way that I found to do it. You do a lot less damage, and the damage you do is clean. do. It's clean. It's clean damage, right? You're cutting right through larger roots that maybe don't belong to that tree, but, right? It's clean. It's not these jagged cuts that you're getting when you're using a pick or an axe or something like that. This is just a faster way to do it. So I highly suggest doing this. I have been doing it like this for as long as I can remember, as long as some old-timer, 45-year-old burnout landscaper like myself showed the younger generation how to do it. And I've been doing it that long. I've been doing it so long, I was the young, impressionable young landscaper who loved plants. And then some old burnout landscaper showed him how to do it. So I'm paying it forward. Do that. This is Landscape Rescue. I'm Stuart Moore. Thank you for letting me into your home to talk about destroying plants.